Hi guys, welcome here to another YouTube video. Now, have you ever wondered why some kids manage or are able to actually regulate their emotion? Very simple. Because their parents have taught them emotional intelligence. They've been taught emotional intelligence. And so we're talking about raising emotionally intelligent children. How can we raise emotionally intelligent children? Children that understand what it means, when I'm angry, when I'm sad, and then they can also not just understand all of that, but also regulate it and not act out unnecessarily. Welcome to today's video. I'm Titi Benson, a certified marriage and relationship and parent coach, and I help individuals, couples, and parents in their journey, one strategy, one family at a time. Today, we're talking about raising emotionally intelligent children. And why is this important? Excuse me. This is very important because in the world of today, a lot of things can easily get through to us. Maybe social media, maybe what's going on online, maybe office, maybe the economy, and the rest of them. So if that can happen to us as adults, what about the younger generation that are coming behind us? We need to imbibe in them the fortitude to actually hold on to positive emotions and not just lash out when they choose to. Now, the starting point is the fact that for you to actually teach your children emotional intelligence, you need to first of all model emotional intelligence. And I'm going to say two things regarding this. First of all, it's labeling and expressing, then apologizing. Now, let's get into labeling and apologizing. For example, when you're not feeling fine as a parent, you tell your son or your daughter that, Steven, I'm not feeling fine. Don't stress mommy. And they understand that, maybe after a while they get to understand what that means. That is how we should also let them know that, daddy had a long day. Daddy wants to rest. Mommy had a long day. She wants to take a walk or she wants to listen to music. So, first of all, you've been able to label, the fact that you had a long day, or you had a stressful day, and also you've been able to express and tell them, not just keep it to yourself. This is why it is not good for a lot of parents to come back and begin to do what we call transfer of aggression. You begin to act out because you've had a terrible day in the office or a terrible time in the traffic, and you begin to act out. Instead, label that, daddy had a terrible day, had a stressful day, had a long day. You first of all, what? That is labeling. And then you are expressing that, daddy would also love to, maybe you can give daddy like 30 minutes, 20 minutes. Is going to come downstairs or come much more later and play with you guys. That is one of the ways you can actually, teach your children to know that, daddy is not in the mood now, or daddy is asking for maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes, or he's going to take a walk. They may not understand it initially, but over time they begin to get it. Also, in terms of modeling, you also want to apologize when you're wrong, either to your spouse or even to your kids. And for some of us growing up, this is one thing that actually, stood out for us because our parents did not apologize. When we know they are wrong, they just cajole you and buy you sweet and buy you candy. But the problem is, it does not leave a good impact or a good taste in your mouth as you go by. So pretty much, you also want to learn to apologize. Apologize to your children. Apologize to your spouse. Let them know that it is not the same. It is not impossible for daddy or mommy to be at fault or to make a mistake. That is how you can actually raise emotionally intelligent children. So they can also feel other people's pain and then they can easily apologize. Now, number two, which is also very important, is teaching emotional regulation. Now, what does regulation mean? Regulation simply means you being able to manage your emotions. Now, a lot of adults, we've come in contact with, we've spoken to, and we've counseled. This is even where they struggle. This regulation. Now, imagine children that they are exposed to all sorts in this time and age. So, as a parent, you need to be able to, first of all, self-regulate, then teach them how to self-regulate. Now, teach them how to regulate their emotion, meaning manage their emotion. When you are angry, what do you do? Do you eat? Do you throw tantrums? Do you insult? Do you just use words around? What do you do? So emotional regulation simply means that I am angry, but then I choose not to eat, I choose not to fight, and I choose not to use hurtful words. Let's say hurtful words. But then, what do I choose to do instead? I choose to take a walk. I choose to listen to music. I choose to go take some fresh air. I choose to, do breathing exercises. I choose to read a book. Now that is emotional regulation. So teaching them to regulate their emotions, because they're going to get sad, going to get happy, going to get frustrated with life, even with their toys, even in school, with their friends, with their peers, with their teachers. How are they going to handle it? That is where regulation comes in. So teaching them to say, oh, you're feeling this way, or how are you feeling? You're feeling this way. So what do you want to do about it? What do you want to do about it? Do you want to take a walk? Do you want to talk about it? Do you want to, sleep over it? What do you want to do about it? Not just, you throwing tantrums, you fighting, eating, and the rest of them. We've seen adults that, when they get angry, they break TV, they break things, they break phones. So, lastly, you want to set and enforce boundaries. What does this simply mean? This simply means that children will be children. They will make mistakes along the line. So you want to let them know that, okay, words like this are not allowed in the house. You can't say such words to your sister, to your mommy, to your daddy, and the rest of them. And also, just to add, this also rests on the shoulders of the men to also implement most of these boundaries and these things in the family. Also, mommy can also do so, but it's easier for daddy to actually implement and to state out and enforce these boundaries. So let your kids know that, oh, you can't talk like that to mommy, to daddy, to your siblings, or to anyone else. It is not allowed. So you set and you enforce boundary. However, you do that with love and compassion. I understand you are upset, but you can't do that. I understand that this happened, but you can't say that to your sister, or you can't say that to your mom. Very, very important. So you are setting and enforcing boundary, but with compassion. Very, very important. So as we come to the end of this video, I would like to ask, which of these strategies will you be going away with? Is it the model emotional intelligence, or teaching emotional regulating and teaching emotional intelligence, or setting and enforcing? I would highly suggest that you actually start with one and you move to the other, and then this other one. So guys, if you'd like to subscribe, please subscribe and like this video. Subscribe and like this video. Until we come your way next time. Bye for now, guys. Cheers.